Your stream is actually going.
Testing. Are we streaming?
Yes, there we are. Huzzah.
Excellent. Pull us up. Huzzah.
Alrighty. And let me clicky
Oh my god.
clack real quick. Oh, let me make sure. Testing. Alright, you try.
Test.
Alright, good. Great. We can hear each other. Awesome.
Sweet. That's what we like.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, nice to see an ad for makeup. Awesome. That's what some people like. Okay, there we are. Okay. So, where are my notes? I pulled up everything but the notes. There are the notes. Okay. Do a quick edit. Watch. Flag means death. I have opinions. And play Trinity. Okay. What am I looking forward to? D&D tonight. Okay, there we go. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Give it like a few seconds and then I will start. Hello, and welcome to episode 230 of Geek Grills. The Geek Grills podcast is supported primarily by our patrons at www.patreon.com/grills. I'm Ray, and I'm joined by my co-host Linda.
Hello.
And Ember is still away. She will return.
She will return, but the so mysterious.
Mysterious other podcast circumstances. And then today's topic is the history of Mother's Day. So, before we get into that, Linda, what have you been working on?
So I've been attempting to make my own crochet pattern for... I can't remember what they're called. They're the little pot men from Elden Ring. So they're basically they're like big earthenware pots that have like a red seal on the top of them, but they have arms and legs and walk around.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I've been told by many a people that they would love a plushie of it. So I've begun. I have a pot. I gotta put like a lid on it and a little handle and his arms and legs. I have thoughts about how that's going to work. Will it actually work? Who knows?
Find out.
We'll find out. This is I don't usually make patterns. I usually Frankenstein patterns. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I've also been working on a giant hedgehog. I don't have his spines on yet. This is the base of him.
So cute though.
But he's gonna be a big boy, and all of his spines will be back here. They look so weird before you put the spines on them. Not gonna lie. They're very bizarre looking before you put the spines on them. A little bit naked mole rat going on, but it's fine.
Vaguely pet shaped.
Vaguely pet shaped.
That was a giant eraser.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I've been kind of like half watching like snippets. I haven't watched an entire episode all the way through yet, but I've been watching snippets of Our Flag Means Death because somebody mentioned it on Facebook, and I was like, okay, from what I have seen, this is delightful. So
I actually just finished it, so
I was like, I kind of want to go just watched all the. I mean, there's only like 10 episodes, right? 9 or 10.
It's pretty short.
So I was like, okay, I want to get to know this hilarious foppish man a little bit better. So,
Yep.
also, I know Taika Waititi plays Blackbeard,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't recognize him at first until like I saw pictures of where he had to shave the beard off, which I don't know if that's spoilers or not. So sorry if it is. Um, and I was like, oh, it is you. I really couldn't tell.
Looks really good in black leather.
Mhm.
Then again, I've yet to meet many people who don't look good in black leather.
True story. So yeah, I'm kind of getting into that, and I was just like, it's delightful. It's delightful. So
It's very delightful, and the subtext becomes text, and that is great.
yes.
I need more of that.
So not a lot for me. We did just play our Aeon game last night, which was a lot of fun. I got to be the weird alien lady. So I had a good time with that. Oh, and I guess I do have more to say. Had our first market day, and it was colder than I was expecting, and I guess a lot of people were expecting. But we did make, some sales, so I'm not upset about it. And it's a good, nice solid start to the season. I'll take it.
And it was Mother's Day, like honestly.
It was Mother's Day.
Kind of a hit or a miss as far as like people out. So
Yeah. We did get a couple of folks that were going to like Mother's Day stuffs, and they stopped by, and so that was nice. But yeah, I looking forward to the rest of the season, and next up is MomoCon. Woo! But that's in a couple weeks, so
all these.
that's me.
Well, let's see. The weekend before was ATE, so
Mm-hmm.
after the MLARP, so that was a thing. It was lots of fun. I was out of the kitchen, so that was cool. God bless Crock-Pot meals.
Yes.
Which was a good call because, oh Lord, I did not think I was going to be out for like 3 to 4 hours with that Birmingham Steel situation. So, in-player characters went to Birmingham to officially make that a done thing. No more Birmingham. Well, Birmingham Steel Corporation. It's our season baddie.
Yeah.
So, technically more than one season. But anyway, they've been our big bad thorn in our side, so we finally got that rectified, mostly. I'm going to say mostly.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, it's done. It's done. We signed paperwork. There are treaties and crap, and not really treaties and stuff. That's a little too paperworky. But we're done. We're moving on. Other things. Other things to cause havoc within this world. And of course, like, I'm inspired by a new character because Molly is getting close to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, I had a new character pop up in my head. Vaguely, well, not vaguely. They're based off Iron Chef. That's all you need to know. They're going to be a cultist that was based off Iron Chef, and they travel the world, basically doing culinary battles to up their skill and knowledge. So eventually, they too will be worthy to go to Kitchen Stadium to fight and see if they can claim the title Iron Chef. I'm a bit excited. It's gonna be the cheapest costume I've ever had. It's gonna be fantastic.
It's so delightful. I want you to have like the coat, like the chef coat, but I also want it to be vaguely Western because
Yeah, I haven't quite figured that out yet. Like all the Western cook stuff that Scott sends me is like old man Cookie with his red shirt and vest over it, and I'm like, we can do better than old man Cookie. We can finagle some stuff here.
We'll figure it out. We'll take the chef's coat and like make it into one of those like walking coats that they had.
Maybe, or like I could get one, but I could do like mutton sleeves or something.
Yeah.
definitely need to make it Western E. So, but yes, it was super fun. It was great. One of my, it's always fun when friend groups come along, when, like merge. So like one of my friends who like I've known since like early aughts, I came up to play with some other like board game friends of his, and because they also play ATE, and it was great because I'm like, oh, you would forever, and it was just a nice time. It was always good to see like everybody who usually comes to ATE, and then like more people. We've got lots of new people, and there's so many people. I'm not out of the kitchen and on the floor, so I have a harder time remembering people now. So it's a good thing that Molly's retiring. Because oh man, I feel like her fingers off the pulse of town now that it's gotten so big, which is awesome. So let's see. Otherwise, I saw the Doctor Strange new movie,
Hmm.
which we'll be doing a review on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, which is the standard. Then we can talk spoilers. There will be spoilers,
Hmm.
but I enjoyed it. I feel that I can say that I enjoyed it. I have seen some people who did not, and I can get that. I think that if you see this, you don't need to watch like a bunch of other Marvel movies. Like you want to watch Doctor Strange, you want to watch like anything with the Scarlet Witch, but I think really what you need to watch is WandaVision, and you can watch What If. It's fun if you watch What If, but you definitely need to watch WandaVision before you go into this movie. I think it does a disservice if you don't, even though uh, Sam Raimi, when he took over the directing, hadn't watched WandaVision until like they were almost done with the movie. So,
Well, I mean, he got it. I mean, for the folks that did like it, he apparently got it pretty well.
I mean, the movie feels very disjointed. You can tell the directional shift
Mm-hmm.
in tone with the director, because with the actual director shift. Uh, but I still enjoyed it, and I thought that was still kind of appropriate for a multiverse movie.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think it would have been kind of baller if they had been like, all right, every time we shift universes, there's another director. That
I
would
mean,
have
that would
been
be neat.
that would have been really neat. It probably would have been a mess, but it would have been
Yes,
interesting.
it definitely would have lent itself to too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
But
like I don't know how you do that. Like you have like maybe one overarching director that's like in charge of like the main cast, and then the other director is like in charge of like the I don't know how you do that, but
but it is cool, and we will talk more about it in depth in 2 weeks. Yay!
yes.
And then Russian Doll season 2 came out, and I loved Russian Doll season 1, and it was very appropriate to watch on Mother's Day because Russian Doll season 2 is less Groundhog Day, where it's not a spoiler. Season 1, she's reliving the same day over and over and has to figure out how to break the time loop. Uh, Season 2, she goes back in time. Um, and yeah, it connects very easily with her going through some connections with her mother and her mother figure, and it was just a very appropriate thing for us to end up binging on Mother's Day. So I I liked it. If you like Russian Doll season 1, you'll probably enjoy this. Uh, yeah, give it a shot. It's delightful. And then I did on Monday when we were supposed to record this, and I wasn't feeling too well. I finally finished Our Flag Means Death. So, hooray!
Hooray!
Um, that was an ending. I need my season 2.
I do understand why the fans of the show are very rabidly asking for a season 2. I do know that much.
So I will say that I did go online because when you can't get the closure that you want from the show,
You turn to
sometimes you want your fan communities to
sometimes you
find out.
turn to fan fiction.
There are over 5,000 fan fictions already written for this series, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Uh, that's just on AO3, so I was like, oh, well, cool. I will just read some of these and go to bed.
Hooray!
It's just, cliffhangers. But it's
Wow.
very good. I do recommend, and the costumes are delightful, and I has a new crush. It's fine.
It's fine.
And then we also had Trinity last night, which was wonderful, and my character has almost been able to meet up with the rest of the group.
We're almost there. We're almost a single
there.
party.
So close. Like, I'm probably like in the hangar bay across from you guys at this point. So.
Sorry, cat. I accidentally booped my cat on the nose, and she looked very offended.
Dare you?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's everything that we have been up to. So today's topic is the history of Mother's Day, because, you know...
Topical.
We just had Mother's Day, and we just did a history of holiday, and I'm like, I don't think I ever actually looked into, like, where Mother's Day came from, so...
Yeah, now specifically we're doing Mother's Day in the U.S.
Yes.
I know that there is a Mothering Sunday that is celebrated in the UK, and obviously Mother's Day is celebrated elsewhere, but we're specifically looking at the U.S. holiday.
Yeah, I did see that apparently in parts of Europe, like, there was the Mothering Sunday, which was like the fourth Sunday in Lent, and it was when you would go back to your mother church for a special service, and then over time apparently shifted to, like, that's when children would pay respects to their mom, but apparently it just kind of fell away by the wayside.
Yeah, it started out as a church thing, a worship service. Even in the U.S., the first one there was a Mother's Day service in 1907. That's when it started. So it I don't know if it has the same, like, you go back to your mother church, quote unquote, thing, but it was a service. So I mean, it makes sense because there is, like, biblical. The one of the commandments is to honor your father and mother, so it would make sense that it started out as a church thing. A lot of things did.
So, yeah, what I thought was cool is for Mother's Day in America, it was actually, like, because of Anna Jarvis. Like, she's like, no, and she's the founder of Mother's Day in the United States. Basically, had a desire to have an established, like, holiday after her own mother had passed. It was like, no, everybody should be aware and, like, give thanks to their mom. She never had kids, so she didn't become a mother herself. But this led to this whole movement that she did, and of course she got, like, corporate backing, because it's like other industries are like, oh yeah, Mother's Day, that sounds good. I bet we could sell so much stuff on Mother's Day.
Yeah, so many flowers.
Did cause her to get a little upset, because it's like, no, this isn't supposed to be about commercialization. This is literally supposed to be about, thanking your mom you into this world. So apparently it got so bad that she did attempt to have it rescinded. It's like, no, my mistake, my bad. Let's not do Mother's Day. But I can go into a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently her mother was Anna Marie Jarvis, and she was born on May 1st, 1864, the ninth of 11 children in West Virginia. And let's see, she was a social activist. She was also a founder of the Mother's Day work clubs, which apparently was active within her church. They would do Sunday lessons, and that was kind of what she used as the base to go ahead and push for this on a more local and then national level. So, let's see. Her mother encouraged her to go to college. Good mom. Uh, let's see. And yeah, so apparently 3 years after her mom's death, I guess, and they were very close. Uh, she spent a lot of time taking care of her mom as her health declined. Uh, she decided to go ahead and do the first official observance of Mother's Day with all the fellow mothers at her Methodist Episcopal Church
Hmm.
in Grafton, West Virginia. And apparently that is now a designated historical landmark since 1992, which is kind of cool. So if you're in Philadelphia, you can check it out.
Hmm.
It's apparently at Market and North Juniper Street. I did not know. But yeah, so she apparently national proclamation. I think it was. I know. I swear I read all of this before, and I didn't write a proper script that I should have wrote because feeling sick on Monday.
Yeah.
Is it Woodruff? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so by 1912, many states and towns had adopted Mother's Day kind of as like their own little regional thing. And Jarvis helped establish Mother's Day International. And in 1914, Woodrow Wilson signed declaration officially establishing the second Sunday in May at the forever be Mother's Day.
I'm just really amused that it was she started protesting Mother's Day by the 20s. It says by the 1920s, because the cards and the companies that were all selling, like Hallmark was selling all these Mother's Day cards. She got really mad.
Florists, candy shops.
She was arrested for disturbing the peace.
Yeah, so apparently, what she did was, she had like a white carnation emblem, which she kind of used to be like, this is kind of the sign of Mother's Day. Uh, there's a quote here, or not a quote, but she describes as its whiteness is to symbolize the truth, purity, and broad charity of mother love. Its fragrance, her memory, and the prayers. The carnation does not drop its petals, but hugs them to its heart as it dies, and so too, mothers hug their children to their hearts. The mother's love is never dying. When I selected this flower, I was remembering my mother's bed of white pinks.
That's very sweet.
It was very sweet.
And then the corporations had to ruin it.
Yep. Yeah, so then everybody's like, yeah, this is a great idea. And suddenly it was no longer like white carnations to symbolize Mother's Day. It was just like, oh, you gotta get mom flowers and candy and a card and a gift and all these physical, tangible representations to show. And the more that you love mom, the more you spend on mom. This one day, though, just this one day.
I just have this Anna Jarvis just standing there screaming, "You're missing the point."
Poor thing. Yeah, so obviously this did not go over very well.
No.
It overwhelmed her original message. It was just, be thankful for your mom. Let her know that you love her. Care. So apparently even the white carnation became commodified and commercialized. So by the 1920s, the white carnation was the popular thing, and then they introduced red carnations to meet demand for the flower, and the original symbol became reappropriated to the red carnation for living mothers and the white carnation for deceased mothers. And this is like, okay, no, I see what you're doing. Stop it.
Step it.
So she
Step.
decided to counter and create a badge, like an actual badge to emblem that was less imperial, imperial, less hand.
Yeah.
Her negative opinion of these forces were evident in her commentary. A printed card means nothing except that you are too lazy to write to the woman who has done more for you than anyone in the world. And candy. You take a box to your mother and then eat most of it yourself. Petty sentiment.
Oh boy, I mean, I understand. Like,
Oh yeah.
but man, that's salty. Very, very salty.
Lots of salt.
So much salt.
Yeah, and she also like she was never compensated for any of this. Like,
Of course not. Of course not.
she didn't get any money out of this, so she had like lots of economic hardships, taking and just being salty about this whole situation. Apparently, um, after taking care of her sister and starting a petition, she was placed in the Marshall Square Sanitarium in West Chester, Pennsylvania.
Ugh.
And people connected with the floral and greeting card industries paid to keep her in the sanitarium.
That got dark.
Yeah! Yeah, so I guess that is one way to remove a critic. Not a good look. So, and then she passed on November 24th, 1948, very next to her mother, sister, and brother in Pennsylvania. Yeah, and that's the story. My God, I had no idea they just paid to keep her in there. See, I initially read that and I misread it as like, oh, medical bills paid by the people in the floral and greeting card industries. Well, that's nice. That's that's something. No. We're gonna keep her in there. Let's just keep that old biddy in there. We don't want her out here anymore, causing any more ruckus or trouble for the rest of us.
My goodness.
Trying to make a living here, selling cards.
You know, I can't have nothing. To quote my own mom, can't have nothing nice.
The more things change, the more they sound the same. Like it's 100 years ago, and I'm like, I wouldn't bat an eye if it had like. It sounds like something they would pull now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh, gosh. Yeah, so she officially disowned its holiday.
Yeah,
I don't blame her. Jeez.
I don't know if there's any other. Well, I mean, it's hard to. I guess the modern holidays would be easier to see, but I don't know if there's any holidays where its creator rejected it quite so thoroughly.
Makes sense. Nobody really wants. Like, we joke about the commercialization of holidays, but
it's there.
It is very there. Like,
our ancestors would be horrified by what Christmas has become. I guarantee you.
It's like I felt bad, even though like I talked to my mom and we're getting together this weekend because we weren't able to do it last weekend. And, like, I still felt bad. I still felt like, oh, I should do something. And I'm like, we're getting together this weekend. We talked about it. Like, we made the plan.
Yeah.
Just the cultural, like, and seeing everything on social media and everybody else, like, oh, my mom, or I got my mom this, or I did that. And I'm like,
yeah, there's a lot of, like, cultural pressure, which is kind of weird if you think about it, because it's, you know, you're supposed to show appreciation for your parents if you have a good relationship with them, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, just to them. It's not something you need to show the world. It's as long as you and your parents and you and your mom have a good relationship, and, you know, because we very rarely, like, tag each other on Facebook. I am friends with my mom on Facebook, and she'll tag me occasionally. I don't tag her nearly as often, But, there I don't have to do that. We text each other pretty often, like at
Yeah.
least twice a week, if not more. Um, so I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing to be like, here we must. It's like Valentine's Day.
For the gram, we
Yeah,
must hug and look happy and
it does read very much like Valentine's Day, which is also a holiday that is run by the Hallmark and the card and flower industries.
oh yeah. Oh man, that is like one of the few history of holidays that I do remember reading as a kid was the history of Valentine's Day.
Maybe I
Absolutely.
think we've done something about that, but maybe we can retouch on it. If y'all want to hear history of Father's Day, we'll do that too. I'm
Yeah,
sure it came
there's a
after
lot of
this.
holidays that we can.
I bet I bet after this one got established, they were like, "Hey, we should do a Father's Day."
I probably actually don't know much about the Father's Day. Um, but yeah, apparently it's like commercialization aside, it is like a big holiday for consumer spending and people getting together. Apparently, there is a bump in phone calls
Mm-hmm.
made on Mother's Day just because, you haven't seen your mom in a while. Maybe give her a call at least on Mother's Day.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and I got together the Saturday before because I was at
Yeah.
the market day on Sunday. And we went thrift shopping. Like we went to a thrift store and we went to a an antique store and just wandered around and just hung out. And my mom was so happy.
Yeah, my mom has been like, don't buy me stuff anymore. I don't want to clean knickknacks. I don't care. Like, I just want to spend time with you. Maybe some good food. So,
Maybe food.
yeah, pretty much what we've been doing for a while now. Uh, but yeah, apparently Mother's Day is also kind of an unofficial launching political day for feminist causes. So, 1968, Coretta Scott King used Mother's Day to host a march in support of underprivileged women and
Mm.
children. And in the 1970s, women groups would often use the holiday as a time to highlight the need for equal rights and access to childcare. These are still things that we need.
Yeah.
I said that real fast. Uh,
Just gonna say that out loud.
just reiterating, like, these things were started before I was born, and still things that we need. Equal rights, access to childcare, bodily autonomy. Okay, I'm not doing that today. You later rant.
That's a different episode.
That'll be a different episode if people want.
I think we'll wait till Ember is back before we decide to tackle that one.
Yeah. That's, but yeah, I believe that is it for United States Mother's Day.
It's like that's the thing though. You're like, oh, it's Mother's Day. It's all fluffy and cute, and it's not.
No, like I had no idea. It's like, oh, we're gonna pay for you to keep this.
This dissenter. We're gonna pay for you to keep this dissenter against Mother's Day, who's the founder of it, in a sanitarium. Good God.
Maybe
Well,
we've been in the darkest timeline longer than we thought.
I don't know.
Uh, gotta fix it. Gotta
Lots
correct
of
this.
lots of other countries celebrate Mother's Day. There's like
Yeah,
I think there's like 100 here. So, yeah. Pretty
it just also seems very American, like
yeah.
terribly American, that we would start this holiday because of this hard work of this woman. We just want to honor like her mom and mothers, and then she would see what crass commercialism was and try to protest it. And the same companies are like, nope, just put her in the sanitarium where she won't make trouble. Like, good God.
On
Okay.
that cheerful note.
If you have opinions on Mother's Day, please chime in by emailing us at email us geekgrills@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at geekgrills. What are you most anticipating right now, Linda?
Finishing off this pot, man. What is it called? Hold on. I have to. Give me a sec. What is your name? Elden Ring Pot Man. What are you called? What is your actual name?
Elden Ring Pot Man.
I guess.
I'm scared to put. I'm kind of enticed to put that in, but I'm scared to say that.
What are you called? Okay, that's your name. That's great, but what is the name of the race? Race?
Pot Boys.
Pot Boys. I was close.
It was just like the first thing that came up.
Yeah, they're called Pot Boys. They're actually
literally called Pot Boys. Oh my.
Yes, they're called Pot Boys. Okay. And if you look at them, they are pretty weirdly cute. I was gonna.
It's like somebody took the cauldron from the Black Cauldron, the animated, and shoved arms and legs on it, like stumpy little legs.
Yeah, but they're like the sweetest like characters in the game, so they're oddly cute. Anyway, finishing that and going to gardens this weekend. I'm waiting on my downtime results because I finished a big old project, so I should have a big info dump and be like, here's the way to kill the Mad King. I'm sure it's not going to be easy. Quite certain.
I will need to be updated because I will not be making it out, so.
It's okay. Mary's not going to be there either, and she runs that plot, so we're not getting it done this game. Can guarantee.
Alright, and then
and what about you?
Visiting my family, and then we have D&D tonight in 15 minutes.
It's fine.
Fine. You know, I warned them ahead of time. I'm like, I'm gonna okay. So remember, folks, you can always come watch us record live at twitch.tv/geekgrills on most Monday evenings. Except today, obviously.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday. But next one will be on May 16th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about Rosalind Franklin.
Yes.
Mother of DNA?
Mm-hmm.
I believe? Yes. Aha. Got this right. So, so a bit out of it, I guess. So in addition to the subs and bits that we get on Twitch, we are also supportive of our amazing patrons. You're the greatest girlfriends on the internet. You can become a patron at www.patreon.com/grills. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub to us for free every month on Twitch.
Yeah, if you're a patron, maybe if we get more patrons, maybe we'll redo the shirts. I'm sporting one of the shirts.
One of the OG shirts.
One of the OG shirts. Maybe if we can get some more patrons, maybe we'll make the shirts again.
Also, please, feel free to let us know, recommendations or just, thoughts and opinions. We'd love to hear back from you guys.
Yeah. And another way to show your support is by leaving us a review. You can do so on any of your podcast catchers. You can check out what topics we're going to be doing in the next month on our schedule below on our Twitch page. And if you're a patron, you can always suggest topics for us. We'd love to hear your ideas. And we'll do it. If you suggest us a topic, if you're a patron, we will do it. Just
All right, well, where can we find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Instagram under the name madcap_misc. That's MISC. You can check out my website at madcapm.com.
Ember can be reached at 9 of 12 on Twitter and Twitch, and on the Heresy and Hearsay podcast. You can also catch her on America's Next Top Podcaster right now, where she's been on Secret Mystery. I need to get caught up.
Secret meetings.
Secret podcast. I'm super excited though.
Yeah.
And then
Hi.
Hi.
Yuki.
You said my name and summoned me.
I
did.
see that. How did
Ah.
I got it? Hold on. I gotta fix it.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. Here we go. we were just finishing off. We were signing off for the show.
Yep.
Yes, I heard. I was watching the show. Came in when you were ending because I've been very busy. But
yes.
We just
you
talked
can actually
about
change our script to everyone can just go to 9of12.com and I add 2.com and I put links to all of our stuff and all of the shows and the things there. Except for ANTP because that's not like forever.
Yeah. So if you want to be cool, you should do it right now and check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just released some really cool stuff, especially for patrons, where they've got the after talks from the people that were first eliminated being released.
And then finally, you can find me on Instagram under Dapple Dame. And that's it. Thanks everyone for listening.
Good game. GG.
Unless you want to talk anything else.
Alright, let me get hold on.
There you go. I saved an edit.
Thanks. We were just like, what's happening? Bye, everybody.